At least 4 people were killed and dozens were injured after Russia launched a massive combined attack on Ukraine's capital Kyiv early on Friday. Kyiv's mayor Vitaly Klitschko said the drone and missile strikes sparked fires in residential buildings across multiple districts. City authorities warned that power and water outages were possible. Among the injured are 2 children, and 9 people have been hospitalized, including a pregnant woman. The attacks also damaged a hospital, a school, and wooden buildings at a sports facility, the state emergency service reported. The strikes come as Russia makes gains in southern Ukraine. Ukrainian forces have withdrawn from several villages in Zaporizhia amid fierce fighting against Russian forces. Ukraine, meanwhile, has launched sustained long-range drone attacks on high-value military-related assets inside Russia.
Poland is implementing additional security measures at its border with Belarus to bolster its defenses against hybrid threats. Officials said on Friday that an additional mesh fence will be installed at the border in the northeastern Podlaskie province. It will run alongside the road and the existing metal barrier on the border. The new fence will also help the country's border guard control immigration and detain migrants who manage to cross the first barrier. The structure is planned to be around 4 meters high and will be coupled with barbed wire running along it. The fence will also be equipped with thermal imaging cameras, which will be mounted on 10-meter-high poles. Materials for its construction are already being sent to the border, with completion expected in the coming months. Several people have been killed after a bus crashed into a bus shelter in the Swedish capital Stockholm. The incident happened in the Östermalm neighborhood around 3 p.m. local time on Friday. Police said in a statement that there have been multiple casualties, but gave no numbers. National broadcaster SVT reported that the bus was not supposed to be in service at the time of the crash. An official noted that only the bus driver was on board, who police confirmed was detained for questioning into the incident. Police are reportedly treating the crash as involuntary manslaughter as investigations continue to determine the cause.
The presence of fossil fuel lobbyists at this year's COP30 climate talks in Brazil is higher than ever, according to a report from Kick Big Polluters Out. More than 1,600 lobbyists have been granted access to the summit, proportionally a 12% increase from last year's talks in Baku, Azerbaijan. The report indicates that these lobbyists outnumber almost every country delegation, with the exception of host country Brazil. KBPO, which has tracked industry participation at COP since 2021, says the presence sparks concern about corporate capture of climate action and the credibility of the COP. The report says the industry presence threatens the stated goals of COP30 in a critical moment for the implementation of the Paris Agreement, as emissions from fossil fuels are on track to reach an all-time high this year.
Communist candidate Janet Jara and her far-right opponent José Antonio Cast will face off this Sunday in Chile's presidential elections after 4 years in office of leftist Gabriel Boric. While issues of security have been central in this campaign, centre-right Evelyn Midday has promised jail or cemetery for criminals.
Voy a votar por Cast porque creo que él va a solucionar los problemas de este país que ya nos tienen agobiados. Realmente no puede salir porque te encuentras con mucha delincuencia. Yo creo que él va a arreglar todas esas cosas.
Yo voto por Janet Jara porque considero que es la persona que está más aterrizada en las necesidades del pueblo, porque yo sí me considero una persona radical y porque considero que es necesario avanzar en los derechos del mundo moderno, en los valores que tiene el mundo moderno.
Jara, a former Labour minister and the only representative of the Unity for Chile bloc, has already made history by becoming the first communist to lead a unified left-wing ticket.